that car. And there is a small video to show you exactly the struggles of Shay Diva. So let's watch that.
Due to public demand. What's up, guys? I've decided to take myself to Naivasha. Naivasha, what's popping? Tell a friend to tell a friend. Your girl is on her way.
So this lovely lady, as you can see, she went to Vasha, of course, driving her white, very new-looking V8 Land Cruiser. Alafu akambiwa, no, come here. You think you're very smart. She was actually arrested in Kitale and was taken to court. And the matter has now been settled because she had to pay bail for 100,000 shillings and return the car to the family members of the late Mr. I don't even know what his name is, but he was an Indian man who sadly has passed on. So this story kind of got me all torn up because I'm just like, okay, first of all, this girl was smart. She didn't decide that we're not going to argue with you or to settle the matter out of court. She went to the team's account after the man has died. Girl was smart enough to have his team's account information.
Yeah.
Do you know this is very personal information? This is information that could actually get you places. Took the man's team's account information, logged into the account, transferred ownership very legally. Transferred ownership 4 days after he died. And just like that, a girl has done her smarts. But unfortunately, records are records. I don't know whether she would have been with him on his dying bed going, at the transfer of ownership, okay, we're good, yes. That particular day, as the man is going to the heavens, she's going to the ground, hitting the ground, running with a Land Cruiser. This was so smart of this girl. I honestly feel like they should just give her the car simply because she really did do a thing here. This was a thing that was done. So Shay Diva, congratulations, and we're happy you're out of jail, and we hope to God that they actually give you that car. What do you think about this story?
She is not getting this car. That car is, her family member was just like, bring it back right now. And this is why we always say, whenever men give you gifts, such large, grand gifts, as he's bought me a plot of land, he's bought me a new car, he's bought me a house, he even buys you a sweater, by the way, you'll give back that sweater, okay? Because at this point, if it's not in your name, that thing does not belong to you. I remember she tried saying it, yes, it was a gift, he actually gave it to me, and she was just now doing the good duty of like what he was not able to do. He wasn't able to transfer the details and the name onto her name. So she was just doing the job for him. Girl, do not be caught in this same situation, because you know this looks like theft. It's actually theft and falsifying information, because he had already passed away. He wasn't able to verify that indeed it's being transferred in a legal manner. So this is how you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Ladies, especially those who like to date old men over there at thinking he'll die and leave the things to you. Make sure everything is in writing. And honestly, so we just try owning things of our own way.
Life is that
well, in the Kenyan law, you're not supposed to transfer anything of anyone who has died unless iko kwa will. If it's not in their will, you're not supposed to do that. It is actually a criminal offense, and it has a name. It's called intermeddling. So Google about that. And when someone dies, whether it's your husband, your neighbor, your friend, you can still continue living in their house. You can still continue driving that car. The mistake that she did was to transfer ownership. So for you to transfer ownership, it means that you either want to sell the property or do something with the property. So if you don't do that, you're not going to sell anything. And for you to transfer ownership, you need to prove, like for her, she needs to prove that actually alikuwa amepewa hiyo gari. If she can prove it, it's okay. But you need an administrator. So when you're writing this will, unafaa useme, even my sofa sets, my TV set is going to go to my son, is going to go to so and so, so and so. So we need to write these things in our will and have an administrator. When you have an administrator, kindly inform them that they are your administrator. You can have one or two, and then have a copy with a lawyer, and keep a copy for yourself. But remember to always sign each and every page, because you don't want to get a rogue lawyer who is going to replace that paper and put whatever they want to put and inherit some of your things. So first, I'll do this quickly. She is not the administrator of the state who was appointed by court, so she's not supposed to do that. You need to have a will and declare everything in that will. If there is no will, and then someone close to him who is a blood relative, maybe the wife. If they don't have a wife, they need to put in their children, but they need to be over 18. If not the children, and then now you go to the next person who is your parents. So in this case, this is actually illegal, and we as Kenyans need to know these things. I don't know who's going to tell us, because not everyone is going to study law in school. So we need to ask things around. So if you have someone who is on the dying bed, kindly have these things in order.
Okay.
Have them write something for you. Yes, because you're not going to sell that
dying,
property,
like,
and you're not going to do anything with
sign
that
up.
property. Yeah, so so now you're on the know. That's why we love this show, because we educate you and entertain you at the same time. Moving on to Betty Kialo. Some of you call her Kialo, some say Chalo. So Betty Kialo has told us again for the 50th time that she doesn't want to get married. So I feel like we need to leave her alone. If you've been there, done that, it's not exciting unless, I don't know, unless something changes. So a fan of her asked her, do you ever plan to get married again? She said, nope, just a long-term relationship like Oprah and Stedman. Hey, another one. Why was Babake Ivana absent on her birthday? She said, Kazi too. So, you know, the baby daddy is a journalist, right? So probably he was out of town. We don't know. We don't have that information. But if you're in Nairobi and your daughter's birthday is happening in Nairobi, you can Zoom, you can call, you can pass by for at least 10 minutes and then you go. But I feel like he wasn't around, like in Nairobi. That's why he missed it. Because the first time, the other birthday last year, he was there. Yeah, but anyway, I think we need to mind our own businesses. Yeah? Let's mind our business. Let's leave people to live their lives, because we don't know what happens behind closed doors. We don't know if they talked and she was just okay with it. Now we want to try and bring in beef. I mean, it's 2021.
Yeah, but I like the fact that she's actually answering these questions, because you can't do a whole wedding over there, make it be on a live television, because I think it was actually on one of these wedding shows and everything. The whole entire nation watched you, and then now we're wondering, so, okay, unfortunately the relationship wasn't able to continue. Now, are you planning on getting married again? And she actually said, no, she's not planning on getting married again. And it kind of makes me feel sad, because I'm just like, you're still so young, you know? Did that one situation scar you so much that now you don't want to have that situation repeat itself? Is it that you don't want to be now in the public eye as well and like put your relationship out there? What exactly is the problem? But I do respect her decision. But something tells me, I don't know, I have like a sixth sense over there, that's telling me that I think she would end up getting married again. Maybe not right now, but later on in life, once she finds Mr. Right, I think I can see her being, walking down the aisle and saying, I do.
I don't know what to say. I feel like married people kind of have this amazing chemistry together if you're married to the right person. But in this particular case, there's so many reasons why you shouldn't get married. Hers sums up so many. First of all, bad marriage. Number two, she's just focused on her own career. Have you seen Betty Chalo? She is winning in life. I mean, house, cars, you know, businesses. She is flourishing. So why should she devote her energy? Don't forget, I think Kenya is one of those countries that has communal marriages or communal marriage laws, such that at the end of the day, whatever you have accumulated during the period of your marriage is split. I think Kenya is one of those places. So why would she work so hard, open up all these businesses, and then get married, continue thriving, and then end up giving someone her money? Do you know what I mean? I feel like in this case, Betty Chalo, do what you have to do. And in case she changes her mind at the end of the day, because we are all allowed to change our minds. It's her life, it's her sanity, it's her situation. Let her be. Let's not go castigating her, sending her screenshots of the videos of her saying she doesn't want to get married and all of that. People, let's leave her be. And in case you want to get married, don't get disheartened. You can have a career, you can have children, you can have a marriage, you can have it all. Just decide on what you want as an individual and go ahead and do it. Because you know what? YOLO. Exactly that.
Let us know what you think about the whole situation. 0770-729-366 is the WhatsApp number. And as other people are deciding they don't want to walk down the aisle again, others are setting rules and terms and conditions for how they will get proposed to. And I am talking about WIZKID. He went ahead and talked about this, where he said, big shout out to the one I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Whoever you are, you go try with this man, with this madman. By the way, my girl gotta buy me a ring and propose on both knees. Not even a traditional way of just proposing on one knee, bending down on one knee. You have to be on both knees as if you're there busy begging him, please, 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 WIZKID, marry me. And you know what I found really interesting? He has 3 baby mamas. 3 baby mamas. Yani, you're coming here with gunias and gunias and gunias of luggage, okay? And you have the audacity to come up to me and tell me, by the way, you're going to buy me a ring and you're going to get down on both knees and you're going to ask me to marry. I will not. And you know, when you, like, sometimes you look at some people just like, anyway, that one, like Bill Gates, me, I'm going to be crawling over there saying, will you marry me? You know? But then with WIZKID over there with his 3 baby mamas and all that drama and all that extended family and everything, I can't, you need to become like a little bit more humble. You know, when you have so much baggage on you, when you have so many things that are going on, when you have all the little side chicks over there and everything, they're busy going to be hitting on you, and then now I'm going to be putting myself in that situation. Can you at least woo me? Can you come and try to entice me to get married to you? I don't know, ladies. I want to know from you, would you be willing to ask your man, will you marry me?
Okay, the thing is for me, okay, now I've proposed, and then also, am I done paying dowry? Because
You said you're buying the ring already.
You're buying the ring. Trust me. Now the question we normally ask, would you give back the ring? Sir, as soon as you do something stupid, you're giving me back my ring and all the assets that I divulged during that proposal. I will literally put a statement down with every single coin that I spent during that proposal. And I will keep it somewhere. The day you wrong me, that day, I will come back with that letter and be like, sir, these are the list of things that you need to give me back because I ain't got time for this, you know? And also, I feel like it's such an empowerment in general because at the end of the day, if you're dating someone, we keep asking, oh, it's not in our chance, it's not in our, you know, it's not our position to propose. You can't wait. How long will you wait? This takes that out completely because you can have dated the guy for 2 days, 3 days, 1 month, and you have the chance to propose to him. Ladies, 3 weeks later, hello, sir, will you marry me? That's what I want. I want that kind of empowerment. I'm all about that feminism. Let us be given the chance to do it. Let it be a situation where if you want to propose, propose. If you don't want to propose, it's fine. Wait for the man to propose for you. Let it not be a taboo. Why are we making this a taboo? Let me know if you can agree with me or if you agree with me. The number is 0770-729-366.
When someone shows you who they are, kindly believe them and also pay attention to what someone says when they're upset. We don't know the kind of mood he was in when he was typing this. You know, we can't tell. But anyway, he's telling us in simple, in a layman's language, that I'm never going to get married. Unless you want to get married and then now you consult, then maybe I'm going to say a yes. So ladies out there, yeah, if you want the money, go for it. If you want anything else, go for it. But for the love, I am just not sure about that. I don't know. He's just not ready and he doesn't want to get married. And imagine someone as rich as WIZKID. How much are you going to spend on that ring? Exactly. By the way, for me, I would buy you a very huge ring like this flower vase. Ndio ukitoka hivi nje after we perform, everyone knows that this guy is taken. But WIZKID, my friend, if you don't want to get married, just tell the ladies, by the way, I'm just going to date you, give you kids, and then I leave you, and then I go on to the next person. But dealing with 3 baby mamas, mwenye uko na hiyo bidii, if you can, then you do it. But me, I can't.
Yo, we're going to continue with this whole relationship vibes because right now it's about that time for Ask the Girls.
We're on time.
Now, this lady has a bit of a very long question, so I really need you to go ahead and pay attention and try to follow through so we can give her the right kind of advice. Now, she says, I got a crush on this boy, and even he had a crush on me, but at that time I was married, so he kept distance until my marriage became toxic, and we decided to part ways. Basically, she talked to her pastor, she talked to her parents, nothing was able to work, so she ended up separating from her husband, but they did have 1 child together with her husband. She then went on to say, I decided to open my feelings now to the guy that she originally had a crush with, and at first he told me that he is dating someone, but he's not happy. For him to give her some time, and then she gave him some time and to see if the feelings will start all over again. So basically, after some time, I guess that relationship ended, and they decided to start on as a relationship. However, they were workmates, so they had had to keep the relationship on the low until they got different jobs. Now, she later on says, I love this guy, Sana, but we used to hang out more often. Nowadays, he doesn't call or text. I'm the one that does the calling and the texting first. He's always so silent. I'm even confused because he used to visit me, but nowadays he doesn't. I'm the only one who goes and visits him. He says that when I say that he's changed and maybe we should give ourselves some time, he says that he says we need to give ourselves some time. He says he wants time because he's still in communication with his ex-girlfriend. He has not stopped. He only tells me that they are friends, and he doesn't see any problem with him being friends with her. If I tell him we part ways, he claims that he loves me. I am confused. My dear, 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 dear sister, here's what the problem is. Both of you seem to be in relationships and looking outside and getting into other relationships. Before you can even, it's like a monkey bar situation. You go like this. Before you can even let go of this one, before you can go to the next one, you're still holding on to this one. You are still with your husband, and you're still looking at him. And then the relationship became toxic. And then now you moved on to him. When you now told him that now I'm ready to be in a relationship, he had a girlfriend. Until that relationship now ended, you guys ended up being back together. You were never fully invested with each other at one particular time. I think you need to end this relationship because I don't think he's serious with you. I think that he's still interested in his ex-girlfriend. They're still communicating with each other. And I have a feeling they never broke up in the first place. He just was willing to say, oh, the girl that I always liked is now available. Let me just have her on the side and still keep my girlfriend over here. Run away.
I feel like this is typical side chick situations. The part where he doesn't want to upgrade you, but he wants to have you, right? And the unfortunate truth is he never wanted to commit to you 100%. He wanted to have you when he wanted to have you, at his own terms, during his own free time. And now you're very, very much available to him, and now he's confused about what to do with your attention. And the only reason why you're noticing now that he doesn't text you as often or he doesn't call you as often is because now you have no one else that you're focusing your energies on. So the one, you know those two secret messages, a secret love affair. When you text someone secretly, then they're sneakily trying to find time to go and look at the message. It feels like you've been texting the whole day, but technically speaking, it's that pent-up mystery love type clouding your head and feeling like, oh my God, he loves me so much. Unfortunately, this is not for you. And even worse, if you're with him and he was with someone else, guess what? He was cheating on that person. Therefore, in the same way, even if he moves on to you, he's still going to have eyes for other people. So in this case, I think it's you're giving it more energy than you should. So just stop it, find a different guy who you actually like and likes you, and start off that relationship on a platter where it's you and him alone, and that's the end of that.
Well, I feel like we all move on with someone who has been left because of cheating at some point. You just never know someone's past unless they're brutally honest with you. So usiogope kuchitiwa, because I think you never know. You might be inheriting someone who was left because of cheating. But in this case, you're the one calling, you're the one visiting, you're the one doing every single thing. You're the one who left your partner for this guy, and he just does not even care about you. The constant communication with the ex-girlfriend, it is okay if there's a baby involved. But if there's no baby involved, what are they talking about? Is he asking you what you dressed? How are you dressed? How's your hair? How was your day? What are they talking about? So if there's no baby involved, then this is absolutely wrong. It's a wrong thing to do. But you know what? There's a thing called soul ties. So what you need to do right here is get down on your knees, fast if you can for 3 days, pray and break this soul tie. This is a soul tie where you cannot even think straight. You've inherited all the devils in the other person, everything, and you just can't leave them. Wanakuonyesha madharau, but you're still stuck there and you just want the relationship to work. After praying and after 3 days you still want to be with him, then basi, ni plani ya Mungu. But otherwise, otherwise, just leave. But this thing, soul ties, they are crazy. Yeah. If you pray,
God has put you in a situation of suffering.
Try to pray to God. Yeah, God can put you in a situation where you're suffering, so that you'll just go back to him and tell him, oh God, please help me. If we were not having problems in this world, let me tell you, we will not be close to God. Because why are you even praying? And I have everything. I have food.
That sound like a
I'm
toxic
rich.
relationship? I'm joking. Oh, don't come at me.
Yeah, just break the soul tie and you'll be fine.
Anyway, you've gotten varied versions of advice. Please take the one that feels best for you. And if you have a different opinion about this whole matter, please, the number is still over here. 0770-729-366. Let us know what your opinions are on that matter. On WIZKID trying to make women propose to him. On the woman who's stealing cars. Would you have done a better job stealing that car? And finally, on Betty Chalo and her situation about not getting married. Let us know your opinions. But today is On the Know Friday. So when we come back, we're going to put you in a situation of knowing, and we're talking about toxic extended family members. So if you have some, please let us know who they are. Let's go on a little break and we'll be right back.
We're on top.
Let us know what your thoughts are on all the stories that we've spoken about. And today is On the Know Friday. So do not forget, let's talk about it. Who are those toxic members of your family? What have they done? Mini Kona stories. Mini, I hope you have some stories for us as well. But before we do that, I know you've been sending us love on the messages. So let's get right into the messages and see who is talking to us. I see someone saying, hey, beautiful ladies, always keeping me glued on my seat just to watch you laugh. And at Lily Asigo, my role model, I love you, girl. And your hair today is fire, fire, fire.
Thank you.
See Naselian also saying she is our #1 fan. She says we look amazing and she's loving today's show. I see someone else saying, hi, Lily. I love your hairstyle. A show lit. It teaches me a lot. Mgoteke, tusalimike, that is. This is John Juma from Nairobi Kahawa Sukari. And then someone else is saying, Wacha madema propose, maze. And then someone else is also saying, hi, nichaje leo kwa TV. This is Jilly Mutai from Pipeline Embakasi. Umemenshoniwa.
Yes, we see Gina from Isili saying, Katomi, I agree with you. We should actually be given equal privileges where it's not seen as a taboo when we go on and propose, because some men are just too hesitant and tend to waste women's time in a relationship. Okay. We have Balozi wa K-Town over here saying, Ati Katomi, I was the Matatu driver who said what else we can see what else Shiko have to say.
Kathomi, I just love you, baby girl. Little baby girl. You're such a vibe. Your sense of humor is undisputed. Hugs. Thanks for making my evening. That is Shiko from Zimmerman. We have someone else saying, hi ladies, looking stunning as always. To that lady, wanaume wa siku hizi wanakupenda tu kama uko na mtu, but if you now give all your energy and focus to them, hawawezani, and I agree.
We actually agree with you. Please keep the messages coming through. Let's talk about all the drama, all these men who are running away from you. If you have stories, I tell you every day, give us your tea. We shall represent you and make that man feel bad about what they did to you, okay? Anyway, let's get right into it. It's On the Know Friday, and we're talking about toxic family members.
We're on top.
Let's start from the beginning. Do you have toxic family members? Ladies, do you?
No.
You don't?
No, not even one?
No.
Okay.
Not at the moment. I
Yeah.
used to have, but tukaweka in order, especially when we did the not backhanded, the black tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you able to now put them in order now, like that they're no longer toxic?
I told them, kindly go and watch this episode on YouTube. Just
Yeah.
type Ebru TV Kenya
Yeah.
on YouTube and click on Let's Talk Usomeyo Yote. And they watch the show. And now the guys are just like this. They're straight like that.
Let me tell you, like when it comes to like our extended family, I'm not as close as I'd like to be with my extended family, and like that kind of happened when all the cousins were there busy growing up with each other and everything. Like we weren't there, and then now we came in later on now as like teenagers and everything. So I feel like, you know how like there's that whole stereotype of like, you know, the people in town think that they're better than the people who are at home and everything. I think there's a bit of that feeling now the other way. Like us were just to come in, like we only come to shags maybe like once a year.
Oh God.
You know, once or twice a year or anything. Like maybe we'll come for like a wedding or like something like that, and then like the rest of the family who gets to, you know, interact with each other on a daily basis, they don't see us as much. I think they think that like us, we think that we're better than them. You know what I mean? Us, like we can't. Kiswahili unashajua. Kiswahili yangu ni mbaya sana. So now imagine me trying to talk in Tiriki. It's impossible. You know what I mean? So like already there's that thing of like you think that we can't relate. So it's just more of just like cordial, like, hi, how are you? You're good. I'm good too.
The end.
And it's so sad. So at least like, the last time when I went to Shags, I felt a little bit better that I was able to like interact with them a little bit more, but it's definitely harder when you're adults.
Yeah, I feel like those relationships need to be made earlier on. But then there's this you've spoken about relatives, and there's this very common habit. Okay, tell me if this has happened when you Shago. Now, you know guys from Nairobi, guys from the towns, you go to Ushago for those weddings or those other things. And then the cousins from Ushago are being made to cook, to, you know, go to the shops, and on weke majimoto, and as jumfanyie. All the Nairobi people are getting all this special treatment. But the people from Ushago, oh yeah. Chakula ya jana yenye haikuisha, you're the ones who are being given that food. The people from Nairobi are getting all the new fresh food that you slaved in the kitchen to make for them. The people from Nairobi are the ones getting the hot water boiled and put in the bathroom. You Kazana with you have to go to the river. That's your problem. You know, I want to know from you if that's a situation that has happened to you in your Shago, or are you those people who are given that special treatment? Let us know on that number.
Treatment. Yeah. You know, I remember there was a time, like when guys were going to the river and everything, and me I was like, I want to go to the river. Like literally, like when we're young. I was like, I want to go to the river, blah, 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 blah. Then I remember an auntie said, Hapana, atapata malaria. Oh, don't let her go, sure she's gonna get malaria. And I'm just like, I could honestly feel the look over there on some of my other cousins. Was like, oh, and sister,
I
feel like if you want that kind of special treatment, just make money, because I'll buy the bread and you go and cook the tea. Simple.
So you're a toxic family member in this particular case?
I'm the best because I buy bread.
Oh my goodness. So clearly some of us have some toxic family and some of us don't. But then she's already given us an experience of her growing up. Imagine. I remember Aska is also, the same thing used to happen. You know, there's shamba, and then in Ushago, obviously, you do the fresh food. So if it's supper you're making, you go to the shamba, you pick up if it's the beans or it is the mbaazi, and then you pick it up and then you bring it, you sort it out, and then you cook that food. It's fresh from the shamba, right? So you over there just chilling. At a vyombo, you never touch. Never ever. Vyombo ni za wale ma auntie when you're naishingi huko, sijui nini, and then guys go to the shamba, you're just chilling, playing with the meaties, climbing up maembe trees just to eat maembes, and then lunchtime you're seeing people looking at you badly, wondering, what's happened? It's because they've been in the shamba the whole day and now they're cooking for you. So that is an experience that we've all had, I think, in our childhood, right?
Yeah, but when you go to Ushago, I don't know whether they are taught or I don't know what happens. You go to Ushago, even an older guy who's 50 years plus comes to you and you're 13. And they start asking you for money. I don't know. Are people working at 13 years old? Ama, what's happening? Just because you're a Nairobian, you're coming from Nairobi, they assume that you have money, whether you're 5 years old or 30 years old. They'll always expect something. And then when you don't give them whatever they're asking for, they now start cussing you. Now that's the problem. Like, mnaringa sijui nini, mnafanya sijui nini, like, hey, calm down. It's never that serious.
And has anything changed now that you're older?
Nothing has changed. Wow. You know, if you don't change the environment and the people you interact with, you stay with the same mentality. So they still have the same mentality because they're still hanging out with the same kind of people.
Yeah.
So what are some of these very toxic type of habits that we're looking at? As in, other than the ones we've just given you, or people giving you special treatment, or children from Ushago getting mistreated on the, you know, versus the children from, you know, the popular urban areas. What are some of the other signs that people can look out for toxic family members?
We definitely have the things of comparing one another. And I think I see that a lot actually when you see, you know, just because your parents, one is very, very, very light-skinned and another one is very, very light-skinned, and then some children have come out looking very, very dark-skinned. You know what I mean? Like, there's always that comparison over there, and you can see, like, especially like when for kids and everything, you can be like, there's that comparison of physical appearance. This one is skinnier, this one is fat, a bit bigger, this one is light, this one is dark, and everything. That's a really toxic trait that I think has been normalized. You know, it's this one's like, "Ay, Kweli, are you really your parents' child? You always talk about what happened." You know, us in our family, we've always been so small, we've always been so skinny, and then you see someone else like that, you're now being told to the bigger person, you need to start watching your weight. And then like that's when you can see that it's toxic, and we need to make it not so acceptable.
Yeah, it's also toxic when they're trying to control how you live your life by controlling, telling you how you're supposed to dress. You're just from Nairobi, but they go like, unajua huku ni ushago watu wa dressing hivi nini 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 nini. That, yeah, and another thing is also the choice of career. You know, sometimes you find that your dad is a teacher, and you want to be a lawyer. But since they're toxic, or your uncle, they just go like, wewe, do you know I'm a great uncle and I'm a teacher? You also need to become a teacher. Like, don't choose my career for me. Let me be and follow a different path, because we're not all the same. I'm not passionate about being a teacher. So can you just leave me alone and leave me in peace? So it is very wrong for people to do that. And by the way, it's very common.
Yeah.
Very common.
Yeah, because I remember like, I heard like a side conversation where it was just like, oh, so she's still there at like a TV show of hers. Yeah, okay, that's so nice. And we see her on TV and everything. But you know, if she can talk to so-and-so, I know we can be able to get her a job in, because you know, that mentality of you need to be in the office. I need to be sitting here in the office, exactly, wearing a suit. And look at, why am I showing my shoulders all over the country and everything? So like I can still, like, I remember those types of conversations.
Yeah, and that also happens a lot, especially with careers. I was speaking to someone today, and I was asking her, why are you here? Because I'm kind of in school technically. So I was speaking to one of the other students, and I was asking her, why did you choose this particular career? And then she said, oh, her parents told her to do it because she wanted to do something very, very different. She wanted to become a nurse. But then her parents are like, apana, you're not going to be a nurse. In this family, we don't have nurses. So they end up forcing her to do something that she didn't want. And this is a very toxic trait, because now she's feeling confused. She doesn't care about what she's doing. So she's kind of just living her life obvio, you know. So don't force people to do things that they do not want to do. Another one, Ayuma has just mentioned over here, the side conversations. And you will know, because as a kid or someone who's not in the know sana, during those two family gatherings, you find there's some aunties in the corner somewhere, and they're talking about your mother, for example. And then when you pity over there, they'll say something snood or just something sarcastic like, na mama yako ameamka. You know, because your mom sleeps in late or something like that. Na baba yako alirudi, because your dad is never there during the mikutanos. He never comes home. Na by the way, sister yako, did she ever graduate? Did she finally finish school? And you're like, why are you asking me these conversations? It means a couple of people, some aunties somewhere in the corner are gossiping about that particular matter. So when you're coming, they're trying to find more gist so they can throw in the conversation. And that is such a toxic habit, especially from aunties to shows. You know, those two family members who are a little older than you, and they always ask the younger person. So you're always the one giving them the information without even knowing. That's a very toxic one that we all know about.
Yeah, but everyone gossips.
True.
Yeah, but it just depends. Yeah, a little bit. But when it's now on the extreme, now you're making this child start thinking that why are they asking me about my father? Why are they asking me about my mother? It is toxic because there's some things which children are not supposed to even know about or even find out. So as adults, we need to stop asking the little children stuff about their parents, stuff about adults. We should just let them be. If you want to gossip, go and gossip with other people. Don't gossip with family members and now bring hatred. You know, cousins, most cousins don't even speak to each other. True. Because of this. Then the hatred goes on, like it becomes, it becomes generational, and it's not a good thing. And also, I feel like it's toxic when they want to help strangers, but not their own family members. And this happens a lot. Your sister is broke, but you don't want to give her 500 shillings. But Kathom is there telling me she wants 3,000, and somehow, voila, I have 3,000.
For
and
a dress, just for a dress or something.
Imagine, and you're just there looking at me, like, Lily, I asked for 500 shillings, and you've given 3K to Kathomi. Like, what is that? I don't understand why tunataka kukua wazuri kwa watu wa nje, wa Kenya. And then family members, you don't care about them. Me, not unless you're not goal-oriented, you're lazy, nini, that's when I can't help you. But nikiangalia, I'm just like, oh, you're working hard, you're in debt because you paid your school fees, etc. I will help you. Let's try and help our family members and not be toxic. Because you know what? If you don't empower your family members, they're going to pull you down. Every day they'll be asking for money, asking for property and everything, waiting for you to die and come and frustrate your children. So let's just be open about it and help our family members fast. The idea is to stop being toxic.
You said that and reminded me, one time we were with my dad. You know, he just come back from the UK. And you know, when they come back, everyone is like, hey, this guy has money, this guy has money. So I'd asked him for cash. I don't know, to do something. I don't even remember what it was. And he's like, sina pesa. We go to a cafe, sit down to eat, you know, finish eating. And then the waitress comes. Do you know what my dad did? the tip was a whole 1,000 shillings. Alipatia msichana
Tip a
waitress
1,000.
1,000 shillings nikimwangalia. And that time you're wondering, but I just asked you for like 100 bobs to buy what? Why are you so okay with giving a random person who doesn't know you just so you look good to that person, and you're refusing to give me something so small? And it's such a toxic habit, because then we also kind of rub off. Some of these habits are rub off on you, right?
Yeah.
You also feel the need to make other people look, if you're looking bad in front of all your family members, if everyone doesn't like you because you're stingy, you want approval from other people. So you will always be helping these other people at the expense of your family, because you want someone to say, hey, na by the way, you're such a nice guy, thank you so much. So let's not do this, especially with money. Let's help and give ours first and then help others, you know?
And we've now definitely reached that time where the people are starting to ask, okay, you are now 28 years old. You've decided you're just going to live by yourself and your dog. Yeah? You've decided that you don't want to get married. You don't want to give me grandchildren. You know what I mean? And like now, like marriage shaming has started to happen, you know? I can see like amongst the people, my cousins and everything, oh, okay, so-and-so has gotten married. You just see looks at you. And you, when is your turn? When is your turn? So-and-so has gotten married. When is your turn? This person, you just had a baby. Okay. Without even getting married, you just want to be a baby mama over there. Don't be like her. Don't be like so-and-so over there who's now just a baby mama. Nani is on baby number 3 and doesn't have any, doesn't have a wife. You don't want to have that life like that. Like there's that marriage shaming. Well, now once you get into the marriage, now we start talking about your husband. Can you believe he didn't do X, Y, Z? Like minding your own business in a large family is like, it's a rumor. It doesn't happen at all.
Well, I feel like someone who keeps on asking you, why are you not getting married? Can you get married? Do this? They're not happily married. They want you to join the group of sufferers
So you can
and suffer like
together.
them. Yes. Someone should just come to you and tell you, by the way, you can get married. There's this positive thing about marriage. There's this another thing. Just get married. You don't want to get married this year? It's fine. And then they leave you alone. But every time you meet, they're asking you about marriage. Ask them, how is your marriage, by the way? Are you benefiting? Are you okay? What is going on? Because they are suffering. Tunaitanga masufferers in their marriage. And also we have people who discourage relationships with their cousins. This is also common. I don't know. Is it because of social class? Ama ni nini?
Honestly, I don't even know.
get
At
it.
this point, I feel like we've become such people that it's so much easier to discourage someone by using someone else, you know, like if I'm making and it happens in the families, because if your auntie, for example, let's say you have children, we're all related, right? So basically all our children call you guys auntie. So if I come to my house, if your kids come to my house and then I start giving them food, and then there's always that kid who's always eating so fast or eating too much, alafu unaanza kusema unasikia, but those children of Ayuma, they're always eating. I don't think the mother feeds them. I don't think, now they've started talking about the auntie. So you as a child, you start growing up knowing, my auntie is selfish, or my auntie has raised greedy children. So you'll always look down upon your cousins, right? And then every time they come over to my house, it becomes a thing of, and the way you eat. Aki guy, can you stop eating too much? Aki, the food in the fridge is shying. When are you going back home? You know, stuff like that. So I feel like aunties and relatives are the ones who put these negativity in children, and then the children instantly become enemies, you know. And by the way, my child has now gone to the UK to study. And then you as kids who have gone to, you know, riff-raff schools all your life are now feeling bad because why do they get to do that? Why do they get to do that? I feel like that's mostly the issue there.
We have so many messages right now on our WhatsApp number. I see someone saying, I don't know if my shemejis fall under family members, but these ladies showed me hell when I was in campus living with my brothers. Till today, I don't visit my brothers because of them, and I'm not planning to. Ati watu washenzi sana guy. Ati marrying is important, but marrying the right person, a right person, and from a right family is vital.
Absolutely. Someone else is saying, our family pia tukienda ushago, tutapewa special treatment. And then, then tunapewa kazi za kuchonga na kudondoa. And that is so sad. It seems it's a very common practice. What's someone else saying?
Ati guys, maze hiyo ya kuitishwa pesa ukiwa young imefanyikia sana. Sikuwa kijana wa mjini hivyo, but kuvaa hapo sikuwa najishughulisha So people from Ushago, Walidhani, niko na do manze, it really sucks. But this is very, very common. Someone else is saying, now those who, when you go to shags, wear your clothes and your perfume and your aunties, wautolewa lini.
And then someone else is saying that mindset of Nairobi people being special wasn't in our family, simply because my dad wasn't much wealthier than the relatives that we visited. This is
Was
Lakes.
much wealthier.
Was much wealthier than the relatives that we visited. Okay,
It's all about the money.
it's really about the money. And then that association of people being in the urban centers having more money than others. I see someone else also saying, well, it should be known to all the ladies, if a man loves you, you will know. And if he doesn't love you, you will be confused. Anyways, enjoying the show. I think they're referring to the conversation of WIZKID in this particular case. But how do you now deal with these toxic relatives? So I feel like one of those things that you should do is you can detach yourself from them, like completely detach yourself from toxic people. Because once you come out of that situation, first of all, you will never hear them talking bad about anyone, including yourself. And then that association of your cousins hating each other, you won't have it because you don't even know your cousins. So at least later on, when you choose to be friends with your cousins, it will be a new platform of conversation, you know. So no one has put benchmarks or has put vile ideas in your head. What do you think?
Yeah, and definitely you also need to just call them out. I have somebody that always tells me, just because someone is old, it doesn't mean that they're good.
True.
Bad people grow old too. You know what I mean? And you can still tell them if you don't like something. You can still say it in a respectful way. By the way, I didn't like when you said this and this. It hurt my feelings when you said this and this. Let's try to respect each other better. And I think a lot of people get shocked when you call them out and they're no longer willing to continue spreading dirty lies and rumors.
Absolutely.
Well, I feel like you need to get creative on lying, because sometimes when you tell people the truth, they use it against you. So start lying to them that, by the way, I don't have a job. Or if you have a job, tell them, by the way, I only earn 5K, so that they don't ask you for 20K. That's how you save yourself from this toxic relative, extended family.
You know, it's actually our problem, because we sit here and we save all our money so that now you can be over there, the big boss with the presents and everything on Christmas. You want to come now, show up in your car. That normally you take a matatu, you don't have enough gas to go, to petrol for, going your job and everything. But to Shags, you're going to drive the car to Shags. You know what I mean? Now you have all the money when you now show up. So, and then you get shocked when they start asking you for money.
Absolutely. And even guys who usually now come from out of the country, these guys have been working and busting their living daylights just to make sure that they have at least a couple of thousand shillings. When they come home, then they can show off, live large. Don't forget, people can hire cars and come to Ushago with them. These are not their cars. They've only rented them out for a few days. And now, guess what? You think that they're rich. But they're really not. Don't forget, if you dig deeper, you will find that all the people who try and show off to you aren't actually that rich. They're again doing the thing where I was telling you, where you want to look better in the faces of other people, because where you're at, you've already ruined that situation. So guys, let's get serious about this particular matters. When it comes to this, let's be very, very keen on what we do. And also when you start realizing that you're the toxic one, because sometimes the toxicity doesn't come from outside.
It's from
It comes from within. You are the toxic person. We're talking about these shemejis who are scarring people. I mean, where would you want to make your sister's sister basically are married to you, right? Why would I want your sister or your brother or your nephew, whoever, your relative, to hate you and to not visit you anymore? You know, there's so many relationships that have been ruined. I remember a friend of mine was telling me that she's now seeking therapy. Her and her brother are going to a therapist to have conversations because their relationship has become so horrible and so toxic simply because they were married to the wrong person. So they never see their brother. There's now hatred and all this vileness that is spewing between them. And it's such a horrible situation. Let's not lead people to hating others. You know, it's so horrible.
I feel like we also need to put ourselves first. And when we're meeting them, we just meet them briefly. You don't want to linger around the negative energy for quite some time. And then another thing, if you have a house help, please get a house help who's of a different tribe so that they don't come to your house and start gossiping. That is a very important thing to do. Because I've realized you get guys, relatives, cousins, they come to your house and now they start gossiping with the house help and get now all the information about you. No, just get a different in Twanini tribe.
Yeah.
I see someone over here saying, Ati, watching all the way from Eldred, I had a toxic family member who wanted to control my career after Form 4. The good thing is that my mom was on my side and supported me all the way. Lily is absolutely right about the soul tie thing, because I think I'm tied to this one particular person, but I am not going to pray about it because our feelings are mutual. Way. How do we help you? You know you are in hot fire and you're refusing to be doused in water. You want to continue burning.
It's a mutual hot fire situation.
But then it's more of a soul tie when you can't leave a toxic person.
Ah.
Yeah, that's when you now break the tie and free yourself from everything else.
Because they're happy in the toxicity.
You don't know where I get my money from. You don't know if I'm prayerful or not. And then you engage with me, especially intimately. It becomes a soul tie.
Yeah, but then it's true. How you get it is how you keep it. So if you prayed for a car and you stop praying, I beg, your car is going to go away. If you stole and bought the car and you stop stealing, I beg, you will not have the next one. So let's be keen on how we get it, because how we get it is how we keep it. I feel like there's a really interesting thing that we did behind the scenes, and we're going to play that at the end of the day. We did such... honestly, it was tomfoolery. There was nothing else we can call it there. As we get into the weekend, we are going to have an amazing weekend, and we hope that you too have an awesome, awesome weekend. My name is Kathomi. Thank you for joining us during this show. Thank you for all your messages. Thank you for being with us this whole week. It's been such fun. And make sure to check me out on my social media. I am Kathomi on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Just type Kathomi. You'll find me.
Kumbe uko YouTube, I
everywhere.
didn't know.
I'm shocked. I think that's a lie over there. But you know what? When it comes to extended family, we might not be able to choose our family, but friends are the family you choose. So even if you don't have people in your life that you are good for you, you can still bring your own family and make your own family. Have an amazing weekend. Go out there and step into the weekend a little bit better than us, because that's we're stumbling into the weekend. You'll check out that video pretty soon and go out and make memories for Monday.
No comment about the video you're about to watch. We were just doing something behind the scenes, but it's fine. My advice today is don't break your back for someone who cannot reciprocate. My name is Lily Asigo at Lily Asigo on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the video.